You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. We move on and now talk about Group B, and it contains Sri Lanka, Australia, Ireland, Zimbabwe, and Oman. So we'll talk about the co-hosts. Jihan, we'll talk about Sri Lanka and talk about their chances. Obviously, champions of the T20 World Cup back in 2014, where they won against India in the final there in Bangladesh, which was a big moment for them. 2 years ago, they finished in the group stage in the last T20 World Cup. Pressure, expectations, obviously home T20 World Cup. The last time they hosted a T20 World Cup, Sri Lanka, was back in 2012, where they made it to the final against the West Indies, and they lost in that tournament of that year. So they'll be hoping to put in a better performance this time around, Sri Lanka. But obviously their recent form of late has been a bit up and down. And the pitches in Sri Lanka are very tricky. In terms of favouring the spinners and slow and taking turn and obviously sort of backfiring in a way against Sri Lanka. But it's their own conditions, home conditions, and they know these conditions very well. You would think they should qualify in Group B, maybe along with Australia, which we'll talk about a bit later on. But they are capable of doing big things, Sri Lanka. We've seen that over the years. So, Jihan, your thoughts on Sri Lanka in terms of how they're going to go in this T20 World Cup? Obviously, co-hosts, there's a lot of pressure when it comes to that. Everyone wants you to do well in your home T20 World Cup. Do you think they've got a chance of potentially making it all the way, potentially to the semis? Or do you think beyond the group stage, Super 8s, and then probably going to struggle there?
Yeah, I think the latter of what you said there. I think they're definitely going to get out of their group. They'll make it into the Super 8s. What they have going for them is home conditions. A lot of their games are going to be played in Sri Lanka. I think the wickets will probably suit them and their spin bowling. But I don't think they have enough in the batting. I don't think they have enough big hitters. Like, I don't know the Sri Lankan team that well, but looking at it, I think maybe Pathum Nissanka and maybe Kusal Pereira. Kusal Mendes, Asalanka. I don't think they have enough power in the batting lineup. So I think they're going to be more relying on having to restrict teams with their spin bowling options. But yeah, I think they'll definitely get out of the group, and then getting to the semis. Let's see, they're going to be England, New Zealand, Pakistan. So if they get to Super 8, so yeah, I think they'll. I don't think they'll get into the semi-finals. But they're not going to be an easy team to beat, especially when they're playing on those sort of slow, low turning wickets at home.
That's right. Yeah, they are going to be a bit of a handful in their own conditions, but you would think, they should qualify from the group, maybe along with Australia as well, and potentially reach the Super 8s, and then from there, who knows? You never know. They may prove people wrong, but they have a bit of a knack of doing that, Sri Lanka, when they're the underdogs. We've seen that. 1996 comes to mind when they proved people wrong there. So there are a team that can punch above their weight. But it's
just look. I was looking at records after the World Cup, and they have lost. They've lost 3 series and won 2. They beat the West Indies at home, and they beat Zimbabwe away. But then they've also been hammered by India at home 3-0. They've lost to Bangladesh at home as well, and they've lost to New Zealand away. So it's not a great record in the last couple of years. So yeah, I think they're going to be struggling to get into the semi-finals.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, that's going to be the challenge for Sri Lanka. But when you're the co-host of any tournament, it does bring the best out of you. So hopefully, for Sri Lankan fans, their team can perform with those expectations.
I think that's the one thing they have in their favour: the home conditions and home crowds.
Yeah, and considering where they're going to play their games, obviously in Colombo at the Primadasa and the Tinley Sports Club, and also at Padakeli as well. So they know those conditions pretty well. Whereas the other teams of the group, Australia, Ireland, Zimbabwe, Oman, won't be quite sure of how those pitches will play. So they could go undefeated in the group stage. They could win all 4 games, potentially, which will boost their confidence to no end. And then in the Super 8s, who knows what will happen there? Anything can happen. So hopefully they can rise to the occasion in front of their home fans and also look to achieve great things in this T20 World Cup.